Hello, hello, hello. This is Julian with the Jewel Design, and I'm going to say good morning. Even though I'm filming in the afternoon, you hopefully will see this first thing in the morning. But then again, I know some of you watch it at night. So anyway, hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. We are the last week of February, and we are doing our last digital reveal for the month. So nothing major this week. You guys were huge. I want to say a huge thank you to all my new subscribers, to everybody who watches Gail and Gail Gustinelli and Lorette Chandler and came over and took a chance and are following me here. That you're viewing my under 10 shorts and you're looking at my reveals and you're checking out some of my journal with me craft moments, craft and chats. And I cannot be more thankful, more appreciative. Love you all for adding me to your daily or weekly watching, viewing. So I want to say thank you for that, because with that, my Blue Victorian and my Touch of Romance, Ode to Jane, has been a huge hit digitally, with Gail's love and support with the blue. She did the Blue Victorian journal and that kit. Lorette and all her love, she took the Touch of Romance and did a gorgeous or should I say she's still working on a gorgeous file folder flip journal piece and a couple little ephemera things that she's been working on. And so that will continue on, I know, this into this week and next as she finishes up. And with their help and support, their videos, their creativity, it's really made those kits a huge success. And with life the way it is, I wasn't able to get another full journal kit out to you guys. End of January, 10th of February, and the goal this week was to get to another digital kit. And I almost made it. I'm in the process of a black and white. I got a lot done on Sunday and Monday, but not enough to reveal it to you today. So I'm going to reveal to you some small little things to get you going, get you ready, start making you think about spring, since that is around the corner. If you're in California, it already feels like spring. We're supposed to be really cold this week. But, for us, spring is March 20th, right? So we are literally like a month away from spring. So I figured we'd create a few little fun ephemera pieces to get you thinking about it and reveal those to you guys today. They'll all be up in my shop. All the links are down below in the description. So if you either click on the little triangle below the subscribe button or above the subscribe button, you'll see more descriptions. And in there, of course, I try to list everything I show here today, along with a general Etsy shop link, along with the Linktree link that allows you to see everything I'm attached to, from Facebook groups, the Instagram, the YouTube, of course, in case you need to come back to me. You always can click on that Linktree and find me again, buy me a coffee, anything I'm attached to that has the Jewel Design name on it. I have tried to put it all in one place so that you can decide where you want to visit me. And make sure you subscribe, love, and like, and anywhere that it fits for you, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or just YouTube, so that you don't miss anything that comes up. So you always get your notifications, and I'm up in your feed so that you are like, oh my gosh, you did what? And you don't want to be behind. You want to know what's going on. So let's start off with some quick, simple things. Because I wanted to do this a couple weeks ago, got sidetracked, but it got back to it, and created a coffee lover word sheet. Now, this is the first time I've ever done a variety of styles on one page. Sometimes you get different colors, like you get the exact same border, the exact same text, but maybe the boxes behind it are a variety of colors. Or you get a whole sheet, same words, same borders, 2 or 3 times repeated, and all in cream. And then another page is all in pink, right? Very, very similar, very cookie cutter. This time, I just felt like for coffee lovers, we like to present ourselves in different ways. So I gave you a whole sheet of a polka dot fabric coffee dyed digital that gives you the different splotches and all the different tones in behind this. So each piece you cut will have a slightly different background to it because it's a different part of the fabric that's been, splotched and coffee dyed, which in itself is a huge, super fun. And then you do have these little fussy cuts that you can cut around or cut little squares out of and add to any bits. But we have fancy, ornate framing for the 14 words. Then you have just simple borders on the 14. Yeah, 14 and 14. let's see, 3 and 5, 3 and 4 is 12, 13, yeah, 14. I lost track at one point what words I was using. And then there's some varieties, right? So like you have a set of 6 vertical there, the same 6 are here. These are upper lower with a cute little border. So when you cut this, you got some a nice detailed, long one. Here it's super simple. It's just sort of more of a serif font, all capital letters, and you can cut, cut it right down the middle and make it as big as you want or as tight as you want, with just the background as sort of your and you distress that with the ink around the edges, and you've got a really great vintage, sort of feel to your coffee dyed words. And then I made them really big, right? So you have the 12. I didn't do the 2 little sayings in this one, but you have, again, really large. So you can really try to cut these pretty evenly and have really large labeled words where you can really layer with them if you want. So I wanted to give you from the small to the large, verticals, bordered, fancy bordered, just a good variety. And so there's 52 individual labels, and then the 5 little coffee bean cup pieces just to fill space. So this is up. So Coffee Lovers Word Sheets is the first one. I've been dying to do this. I don't know if I can come up with a way to make a kit out of this. Coffee dyed fabrics and tea dyed papers and coffee mugs, antique mugs. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to have to start looking into it, but it probably won't be till summer before I get back to this, or late spring when I get a moment where we'll start working on coffee, maybe a coffee journal type papers or something. Or maybe just a set of papers, that I can take images and lay them out and give you a coffeed feel without buying coffee. Because I've tried to do the ladies who do their tea dyed and their coffee dyed laces and stencils. I give them so much props because I cannot do that. So I have to rely on other people's abilities that I can purchase their rights to and, get this coffee dyed thing that I've played with and dealt with, many ways over into something you guys can use. So there's that. There's number 1. Then number 2, I'm only showing the 1 page because I don't need all of them myself right now, but I created a jewel design, floral cluster, fussy cut, 2 pages. This is the standard size, about 1.5 to 2 inches. The second page has them shorter, where all of these fit just up here. So about 60% of the size. And then there's about 5 or 6 of my favorite ones that are like closer to a 3-inch wide or tall graphic. So you get 2 pages of clusters that I've created. So I've taken individual pieces and cluster them, right, in my designs. Now, normally when you buy a full journal kit, the clusters that I create, I try to put in the fussy cut within that journal kit. But sometimes you just want a collection of flowers, right? You don't want to have to search an old kit to look for them. And how many do you get, right? So in the Mother's Victorian journals, or Mother's Victorian roses, there were these lovely, clusters that I had created. In the Garden Stroll, I believe is these guys. We have the Sew Vintage sewing kit cluster. Came from my Amore kit. These came from the Fall Harvest kit. And this was my summer. These came from my Welcome Summer kit, I think it is. So I went ahead and just picked a variety of things, gave it to you in 3 different sizes, and you get a personal collection of a Jewel Designs clustered florals as fussy cuts, and there's a pale cream all the way around the edges. So when you try to easy cut, you don't feel like you have to get into every little crevice. You have a nice little light cream to help with the distressing and the inking, if you want to. So it is there. I know it's really hard to see, but this is the basic, 12 images that I work with, and you get 2 pages of, so you have a variety of these sizes in my personal clusters. So look for that. So the Jewel Design floral clusters. And, yeah, I just thought I would share them. Now I may do more botanical and more wispy collections later throughout the line, but those are, graphic fairies and public domains that I've happened to gather and I use in my kits. And usually you guys get, like I said, you get them within the fussy cuts of the ephemera for the full journal kit. But I'll have to decide at one point if you guys really like knowing you can grab a couple sheets of just botanicals and florals all in one shot and you don't mind the repetition of it, and like having it all in one area, let me know. I will, everything I have, I either purchase or definitely make sure that the license is free and the license is for commercial use. But a lot of these, like I said, either I've clustered them, I've regrouped them, I've taken out leaves, I've added in leaves, I've changed the coloring to fit the scheme, fit the scheme that I'm working on. Maybe it's not this one I dulled down, it wasn't as pink, this one I enhanced the white or the cream on it, whatever. kept these really rainbowy and made sure they really popped the way I wanted them to. These were actually all different colors, and I made each one of these black and white, and then went back in and added the rainbow colors. So I don't even remember what the original coloring was for these guys. The leaves are probably the only thing that's original. Everything else I remember. I went back in and grayscaled it, and then duotoned them to get the colors that I wanted for the kids. So I know I can give these away, and I'm totally happy with it for you guys. I give it away, but sell to you guys, because I've made every one of these clusters with all kinds of tiny individual pieces that were adjusted for the kit I made. So there's that. Those are my personal collection of clustered florals that you also have access to. Then, because I get told all the time that you love the instantly backed journal cards that I make, and that I don't make them in every kit. And I have a couple ladies who go, why aren't there any instantly backed journal kits in this kit? Because sometimes I make my full journal cards, and I don't give you guys the back automatically. Sometimes I do. It depends on the imagery, depends on the kit, where I feel like the so vintage journal kit. Of course you had to have writing on the back, right? You had to have backgrounds on those. Others, I feel like, it just all depends. So I vary it. So I thought, well, it would be fun, again, to prep for spring. I'd come out with a antique and vintage instantly backed floral botanical journal card set. So instantly backed means I literally have the backing right next to the front of the card. So all you have to do is cut them out. And I left some flat, I left some folded. All right, so you get it like this, and you print them. There are 5 pages. We have 3 different sizes, and each one is, of course, each size or whatever is a different design. So there's no repetition in it to where you have it large or you have it small. You just have a variety of sizes and designs. So it could cover any and all, hopefully, bases as we get into spring. But what you take here, carefully cut around the edges in between on all the white. Now the little ones I cleaned up perfectly. I may regret that. You're going to score it down the middle. You're going to fold it. We're going to glue it. Now, as you can see, I don't score or fold straight. So it's okay if you don't, because once it's glued, just trim up the best you can to square it off. Or try again. I don't know. I did a bunch of these where really when I'm done and I've cut them, I can't tell if they're straight. It's not going to matter. You distress the edges with ink. You pop them in a container. You won't know the difference. So you go from here, from here to here folded to here glued down. And you have a nice, sturdy journal card. Whether it's small, whether it's large. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. I forgot I had some wood paneling that was distressed. So I have a couple with wood. Some of these large ones have lines on them. Some of them, as you see, right? I put borders. I did an antique catalog. I put some vintage florals on that we don't see all the time. So I went through my lot. I want to see, what do I use all the time? And so you guys would get new images that maybe you haven't seen in a while that are just laid over things. Now, and like these guys just have linen or distressed coloring on the back. Depending on your printer will determine how much you see. But then you add your ink to go with it. You can really, make these things pop, and they're ready to go. So you have 2 that are lined. You have 4 of these that are not. So you either decorate them right on the back. And then you have, oh my goodness, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these sort of smallish medium cards. Then we have 4 brand new itty bitties. Now, as you can see, these are actually horizontal. These are going to cut a little differently. Instead of cutting them side by side this way, we're going to go this way. Not really that big of a difference. Once you cut them down, you score them. You're just going to fold it backwards. Which I think that's just me. That's my weird left-handed design abilities. I'm like, really probably should have had it like the other way, right? This is on the top, is here, so you'd fold it this way. But I don't know. It's a left-hand and right-hand. Turn it upside down. It still feels like it. And then you can, situate it however you want. And the nice thing is, besides the music sheets being upside down, yeah, the words you wouldn't want upside down. Some of these you could almost flip them around and no one would notice. But again, you get 2 that are lined and 2 that are plain. And these are all pages. These were backgrounds to these Mother's Victorian kits. These are the new small versions of the distressed 12-pack paper that I grabbed. And that's a joy of paginating, is that I can take this full piece of paper that I give you guys and I can shrink it into itty bitty boxes. and take these things and make them as big or as little as I want, and I don't have to be relying on just the printout. Then you guys are like, oh, I gotta cut it, but it's too big, let me cut it down. Or I can make, this is, it was huge in the autumn, Hello Autumn, or was it summer falling into autumn or something like that. God, I can't remember, it's been so long. But my first autumn kit this year had these big old gorgeous, florals, and cutting that down is like, okay, let me cut this down, or let me try to shrink it, and add it to something. And so I love being able to resize these guys, resize everything for you guys and make it work. So, like I said, we have 5 pages, 6 of these, 4 of these, and what are we at? 6 of the 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 6 of the larger size. So there's a whole horde. We've got flowers, we've got borders, I love that I sort of found a theme. I'm missing one, there we go. Birds, both horizontal and vertical. And that was the other thing. The only thing I didn't do on the big ones was give you a horizontal size, which, I mean, you could do that one. That one you could put horizontal, but I went vertical with it. I just realized so your lines are vertical. Sorry about that. I'm so used to doing these bigger ones when they are instantly backed as a vertical ordeal. I have to learn and remind myself to turn them on their sides. But I love this one. I love the wood on this one and this just coloring. It's a little fallish, but then again, I love how it feels like from winter to spring. We've got the dullness of winter into the brightness and the new of spring. So I was like, okay, we have to work on these. So I figured real quickly we would go ahead and get the last of these glued down. I'm going to save these. I have some of my botanical stuff, and so I know that there's going to be a great use for later down the line. I'm going to want to do those. So really quickly, we'll do these, and then we'll talk about what's to come. Thursday, make sure you chime in. I'm going to do a handmade flip through of my 2 small journals. If you haven't been watching that, I wouldn't call it a series. I haven't put it into a series kit. I know I have, because I had one full video, and then I had 2 shorts that I did last week because, well, technical difficulties. You do what you can. It was actually the week before, and things were like already going crazy, and my editing program is not working. So I thought, well, I started on one and I wasn't getting very far, so I decided that I was just gonna stop chit-chatting, turn the music on, finish what I was doing while filming, and I was just gonna go in and edit the whole thing. I was gonna dub over it. I was going to just speed it up so I could keep it under 30 minutes, and I was just going to talk right over it. Now, I just did this backwards. You can do this either way. You can either cut it from the back or cut it from the front. It's probably best, if done right, to make sure the front is cut down to the what size you want. Hoping then that there's no white on the back when you're done. But this is where we are going to have problems because, like I said, I do not cut or fold straight. I don't know why. I need to figure out how to use that scoreboard where or scoring tool where with a ruler that's straighter. That's my only downside. I don't do that very well. But make sure you really flatten these out. Now, for once, I printed these on my bright white paper, not my cardstock, so that they wouldn't be. They feel like they were cardstock the first time. Like if I just held this once glued down, it feels like cardstock, as if I had printed them on double-sided. Print the front, turn around, put it back in, and print the back. So if you want just sort of a cardstock feel, put it on your best bright white paper, fold it, glue it, then you still have a stout card. If you want a really stout card, like you're turning these guys into ring journal pages, or you're turning them into small covers, then put them on cardstock. Because when they're on cardstock and you double up, they are super, super thick. I don't think I did one. Are these are them? No, I can't tell. Oh, these are. So I'm blanking out. Sorry, guys. Touch of Romance. I gave you guys lined and unlined instantly back cards, and these are on cardstock, and they are definitely not bad. It almost sounds the same. This one's definitely a little lighter, but there's a thunk to this. So with my cardstock doubled up, it's way like, I don't know, they don't flop around as much as maybe this does, right? This flops around a little more. So it really just depends on what you're doing with them. These would make great pages if you were to do a small ring binder. The larger instantly back journal cards are great for that. You could use those as pages in between. like dividers and tabbed pages, and that would be great. But if you want something lighter so it fits in every pocket you make, do your normal bright white paper, and then when you fold it, you still get a nice card that you don't feel like it's going to like rip and tear every time you put it in and out. Okay, but it's that simple. It's just really, when I did these, I was smart enough at least to like only cut 3 sides and leave like a top white to help maybe, you know, give me a place to start, and then I could trim up around it. So I did do that for all of these. I gave myself space, I glued them down, and then I trimmed the last of the white off so that I had a less chance, because these little guys, like, oh my goodness, I can tell right now, like they're really, when I score them, they're so off. But again, I would cut according to the front if you can, and then the back should hopefully bleed off and not be a problem. So yeah, anyway, I was trying to do this. I did the first one, and then first 30-minute video for last week, and then I was going to do a second one. So they're going to be back to, you know, Wednesday and Thursday, 2 of them, as we were working on the 2 small journals. And it didn't work. I went to go dub it, and it just would not keep the video. Luckily, I didn't record over it, but I was just trying to upload it, and I was just trying to get it to do something, and the video kept going away. The picture just kept disappearing and wouldn't load, and I don't know, it was bad. So on my phone, I went back in, trimmed out 10 or 11 minutes of both videos on parts that I thought were fun, like the belly band pockety thing that I created on one page, and the side pocket on another one, right? Just 2 things out of the binder, out of the journal that I thought was pretty. Added some music to try to cover the YouTube music, or not YouTube. I had Pandora on, and I have to be careful. Luckily, I don't make money off my YouTube channels, so I can have a little bit of music in the background. But I want to use, you know, a free, safe. See, that easy. Cut the top, you're done. Safe thing. So anyway, I was bummed. But anyway, so I will do the flip through of the 2 journals, because I said there's really not much of a series because it just didn't work out that way. I want to show you guys how they turned out. My little junk journals, literally cute little Amazon packaging, fabric covered, throw it all in there type deal, get some ephemera and some pretties, and show you how those journals came out and what I was trying to do with it. So come back on Thursday if you want a flip through chat of what I tried to create. And before I, of course, list those out as a set onto my Etsy shop, which I hopefully by Friday they'll be up. Thursday afternoon or Friday they'll be up for sale. Once I show them off to make sure that they are all good to go and I don't feel anything needs to be added or tweaked to it. So again, it's really that simple with these guys. It's simply just leaving yourself some space, you know, if you can. Now, if you cut really straight, now I cut these with a cutting board too. That's the funny part. I think then it came down to me and the scoreboard. I think I need to use my cutting board because it has grooves in it to see if it'll help me score straighter. Haha. And I think then I wouldn't have these white gaps. And this is nothing to do with the design. It is operator error. It is definitely just operator error. Not that I really mind it though. Well, I'll just cut whatever line is straight, and you know, if they're a little off, they're a little off. I don't care. I'm not super picky right now about how straight these are. And if they're really off, I can always put them back in the cutter and, you know, trim off whatever I need to make them straighter. Make it more square. But really, at first glance, you cannot tell the slightest imperfection, which is me. And, you know, that is the joy of these junk journals, is that they are perfectly imperfect. They are our love and creation, right? But the digital end of it is beautiful. The digital has no issues. It is strictly operator error. See, I'm going to put that one upside down every time I look at it. How funny is that? These are 1,700 music sheets that I have in the background. These are antique catalogs that I found on one of my websites. All my websites are either completely free for the open access public domain, or there are things like Graphic Fairy, Design Bundle, Vitsy, or Vexy. It's a vector program. But I pay big bucks every year to have full access and commercial use of them. So I try every way possible to make sure that what I have access to is usable, so that there is hopefully no options. Am I too far up? Not too bad, but all right, ladies and gentlemen. So this was the biggest thing, was these cute 5 pages of instantly backed journal cards, getting you ready for spring and summer. You have the 2 pages of Jewel Design clustered florals. right? Custom florals that I made that you have access to now in 2 pages, so you have 3 different sizes. You have your coffee lover, I don't want to put those down. I guess I will. Coffee lover words, 52 labels, and 5 little fussy cuts on a gorgeous coffee stained fabric digital. So hopefully that'll be fun, and maybe we'll lead into something wonderful later in the year. I'm really stoked and hoping for that. And then a reminder, now my biggest thing in March and April, it will be getting back to all the pockets, new pockets that we made for the Touch of Romance. I want to do a 2-page spread of pockets, right? I want to do all the pockets. We're going to do a spread. We'll put the papers in the back, like we did for my Halloween thing with Shabby Dabby Doodah. And a similar one, but these are going to be all pockets and pockets and tucks. And my biggest project, being that is my birthday month here and coming up in March, and then we have spring and we have Mother's Day, is the great window pocket, scalloped pocket that we created for the Touch of Romance. And we're going to create this into a new piece of standalone ephemera that I really want to do it. I came up with it when we were going through this part, the second half of the reveal for Touch of Romance. So I will put it here in the card box up above here, the screen. You'll see a little thing come up in the top corner. You can click on that real quick and go ahead and go back to the reveal of this part and get a sneak peek of what my big idea was. And keep an eye out for these lovely things. There will be a quick video on the design and the digital reveal for the new oomph that I'm going to do with this one. So watch the spread. So we talk about, we're going to see what we can do with these as they are, and then keep an eye out for the visual, or for the digital reveal of the birthday, Mother's Day project that's going to come out with, that's an offshoot of this one. So that I'm super stoked about, because I think it's going to be a great birthday gift. I think it'll be a great Mother's Day gifts. I did the mini file folder kits last year after the large Wildflower Botanical kit. A mini file folder greeting card book series came out. I did 3 or 4 videos on how to use them. And that is something which I can also put in here right now, because I know I did them, but I'm trying to see if I have one. I gave away every one I made. I think every single one I made, I gave away. It was birthday presents. They were Mother's Day presents. I don't even have any bits of that anymore. Oh my gosh. Anyway, my Wildflower Botanical 2 kit led to Wildflower mini file folder kits. And I think there's a mini kit section that has all 5 of them in there, I think. And so there's all different colors, so depending what you want to do. So last year was a mini file folder kit. So I think this year we're going to have a birthday, Mother's Day project that I'm going to do in 3 or 4 styles for you guys this year. So we'll do something different. And then a quick this is the kit I almost had ready for today and could not quite get there, but I want to quickly show you. I'm just going to pull it through my new black and white kit. All right. Definitely something different from the last one, but I think you could blend in my black and white floral engraved kit with this one. There are elements that are similar and different. And yes, I'm just scrolling by. You're just getting a sneak peek of what they could be. I'm not going to put them on there for good. I want you guys to be surprised. That will be up. Cross our fingers next week if life will let me. Life can stay from being too crazy and can calm down. I can get that kit done. Get through homeschool. Get through the week off. Get through any more disasters. And any more heartaches. So, if you watched Lorette, you know, but yeah, our, last week, we had to put my 5-year-old doggy to sleep. And, so the week before, as you guys were seeing the shorts and those things, I'd preempted them, but she was really sick and I was constantly taking her to the doctor. So that sort of waylaid me, and then actually having to put her to sleep last week, it definitely threw, a screw into the mix, or wrench into the mix, or whatever that saying is. So it's a little hard to create stuff when you're sad and upset. So I crafted. That's how I got the journal books done. But to actually design stuff is a little harder when you're a little bummed. So anyway, all that is gone. All that is done. Great memories, and we just keep moving forward and love every moment we had with her. And get back to life, I'm afraid. And so this is what came of it. This is what I could get out to you guys. And I hope you appreciate this. I hope you love it all. I hope it makes you itch to be creative or add to your kits or a little oomph of something, and that you keep following and keep tagging along. You keep liking, loving, and subscribing, and that you are as excited as I am, because I have so many things coming up. The black and white kit. There may be a spin-off on a princess kit coming probably April or May. We have the pockets. We have the happy birthday, sort of Mother's Day, freestanding ephemera gift pieces that are coming up. We have a spread to work with and a journal with me. We've got a lot going. I have a whole half a planner of stuff that remind me of what we're doing in the month of March, and leading into many more designs, of course, in April and May. Before you know it, I will be working on fall all over again. It won't take long. It goes by so fast. So I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any ideas, any themes, anything you may want to see played with, you're always welcome to drop a line and let me know. Can't always guarantee I can do anything with it, but you never know what it may spark for me that then turns around and sparks something wonderful for you. So feel free to always let me know if there is something that you would love to see, whether it's colors, whether it's items, whether it's a theme. It lets me know that you're watching. It lets me know that you are loving what I design, and maybe there's something that I can design that, continues to make you guys happy. So really appreciate all of it. Thank you so much. I know it's a little longer than I expected, but so much going on. I promise they'll be quicker and to the point as we get into the month, but March has a lot of weeks and we have a lot to do. So thank you so much again. Love you all. This is Jolene with the Jewel Design, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Come back. Come look for my reveals of my tiny little junk journals. Thanks. Have a great day.